Hi folks, I'm Romy the Demon Warship Andromeda Ascendant. Welcome to another episode of Tip to Toe, the first episode in 2021. Here's the finished look. If you want to know how I created it, then continue watching, and I hope you enjoy watching as much as I enjoy creating. I shall catch you all on the flip side to say a fond farewell to you all. Enjoy. Okay, so you all saw the finished look, but here is how we created that look. This is the picture that we're going to be using as inspiration, but we're not going to be using all the jewels and everything. We're just basically using this to inspire what we created, focusing on the eyes and the lips. I've done the base, the brows have been covered, but if you've noticed there's no contour concealer highlight or anything at the moment, because we're going to be using the pretty blues to do that, and some shimmery holographic highlighters to touch up in certain areas. So anyway, without waffling on, let's get started. I'm going to be using a teeny tiny brush, which I can't remember, it's from Studio. And I'm going to be using several different palettes in this one. We're going to be using, they're all from Morphe, the Morphe X Nikita Dragoon, the Morphe X James Charles, and also the 35S Oasis from Morphe as well. So first colour I'm going to be using is from the Nikita Dragoon palette, and it's going to be Azula to map out the crease. And we are dragging this one out. In that picture it's more sort of like natural. I could have gone with natural brows for that, because cut creases are better for me with the hooded eyes, but I thought, let's accentuate it and drag it out somewhat. So let's start by mapping the crease. I'm going to start on this side, and we're going to go, I mean usually I would go slightly higher than my normal crease anyway if it was, you know, my natural eyes, but this time we're going to go where the brow would be, well, the bottom of the brow actually, and get that crease drawn in. Tiny brush. We'll be going over it later and fluffing it out. This is actually basically right on top of the brow bone, but it's good. I'm going to take it down to where the lashes, the eyebrow would end, and as the eyebrow where it would ordinarily be tails out, that's where we're going to take it back up again. So I'd say a little deeper, and then just as it starts going down there, that's what the point where we're going to take it out. Oop. A little bit of fluffy colour on there. And then we're going to take that all the way out there. Oops. See, 1 minute there's too much colour and next minute not enough. Typical. So that's how I start. I'm just going beyond where the tail would be, because it's going to be bigger, it's going to be beautiful. And then take it up just a little, just a tiny wee bit. Same on the other side. But you can skip that bit and then we'll work on the next bit. Okay, step one is done. For the next part, we are going to take a small fluffy, and fill those bits in. I think, yep, M431. I'm going to take the same colour, which is Azula, and you can probably hear Mrs. Chicken in the background trying to reclaim her throne as star of the show, which, you know, you all know from previous videos was Inky Stinky Binky, but sadly Inky's no longer with us, but she's whining like a bag in the background just because she can. So we're going to take that colour and go from the tail, fill that bit in, but not as heavy as the line itself. I should have perhaps used a slightly brighter colour, but I'll be here then. But we don't want too much on this, so and one thing that we don't want to do is relift those hidden brows. Same with the other side. You can skip this part, I'll catch you on a flip side. So next I'm probably going to use an angle brush, which is the Morphe 158, which has also got the spoolie on the end, but we don't need that. Still sticking with the Nikita Dragun palette, and we're going to use a light blue, which is a BB boy. And what we wouldn't give for a BB boy right now, if you know what I mean. And I'm going to basically follow that same line over the top. Ooh, this is quite bright. There's a lot of payoff with this one. I like it a lot. So I'm going to follow the line first, covering up the rest of the brow basically. Over the top of what we already did. I'm going to add a bit of sparkle to this after this step, using another palette. So just going to follow the line first, take it in a little bit as well, to about there, more or less. I'm trying to slightly mirror those two colours as well. There. Now I know the darker colour is, at the moment, a little big, but we need a little big. And then, once that is where we need it, I'm going to take it a bit down there as well, because it does go further into the corner than the darker blue line does. So we followed the pattern so far, but this one I'm going to start here where the top is and then take it also straight out, because that is going to start a little bit of our brow as well. So not only followed the pattern, but taking it straight across too. Pretty blue. I like it a lot. Oh, and with another fluffy, big fluffy, that we use for setting with. I'm just going to get rid of some of that fallout. So up the nose and then up along there. Done. Fabulous. And before we add the sparkle and the shimmer to it, we're going to do the same on the other side, and I'm going to skip that bit for you. Be right back. Okay, so done with those two sides. Now I'm going to take a fluffy, which is a M506, and switch palettes to the James Charles, and then we're going to add a little bit of Hello, which is a very sparkly light blue, just on top of the the lighter blue that we did. And it doesn't matter if we go over certain places, because this does lift up and go into a more silvery kind of look afterwards as well. So we can do that if we want to. Possibly going to be using a flatter brush as well at some point, maybe, who knows. We'll see how this turns out. And again, Mrs. Chicken is trying to join in. Her push is good like that. She knows exactly when to chirp, because she's fabulous. Or so she will have you believe. Exactly. Same with the other side. You can skip this bit, I shall see you in a moment. Okay, now we're going to map out just where the brow bone would actually be, and I've switched to the 35S Sweet Oasis palette, and I'm going to use the angle brush again, the 158. I'm going to go in with Windsurf, which is a sparkly silvery colour. I'm going to go directly on top of there where we started, and hopefully this will pay off. If not, we'll have to maybe deepen it with Coastline Cruise, which is kind of another blue sparkly colour. I maybe should have added a white concealer to this first, but hopefully with enough build up it'll work. And I think with the line that we left ourselves we should hopefully have what we need, because it does still dip a little bit. Even though we're straight down, it does still dip a little bit, which will give us the arch that we need. So it's straight across. I am going to take it up a little bit as well, just to give that wee bit more of a brow feel to it. Yes, it is working. Cutting it out with concealer first would have been a lot better for more payoff, but we're just going to build and build and build until it looks really shiny. Because don't forget, this is supposed to be the highlight on the brow bone, so we don't want it to stand out too much. And the lighting in here is a little bit terrible, so we're just going to have to work with it. Because our brow is now going to sit on top of this. Once again, same with the other side. I shall catch you all in a moment. Okay, so, and then of course in the picture there is sparkly brows, but that's going to be a little difficult to achieve with drawing in brows. So what I decided to do was use some matte colours for this one, and then try and sparkle it up a little bit, so hopefully it doesn't look like, you know, an extension of this. So let's have a look. I think Reef Divine might actually work, but I'm going to put Sail Away underneath from the Sweet Oasis palette. And then we're going to darken them up as it goes through. And then sparkle it up as well. So we'll get our basic brow shape with this. And then we'll change the colour. We will deepen it. And then we'll sparkle it. And basically we're just joining them up there so you can see the brow. And before we deepen it up, we need to make it match because we're using the same brush, so we don't want to go dark and then oops, need to go lighter again. No, that wouldn't do at all, would it? So start there. Take it around. And join those up. Gonna lift that one a little bit. But remember, sisters not twins, although looking pretty good, even if I do say so myself. Add a little depth to that one. Take it up. And then just bring it back down there. Fantabulous. Brows are matching. Yay! But for camera illusion, because we do need those to stand out a little bit more, I'm going to use Infinity Pool, which is a slightly deeper version, and I'm going to start from there and literally just go over what we've already done, just to add some more to it. I'm going to get a bit of a ombre brow going on as well at the same time, which is good. And I don't think I actually want to try and sparkle this one because I don't want it to start to blend in with the rest of the sparkle. Even though, you know, on the picture it's like, you know, completely icicle. Like I said, that's just a reference point. We are doing our drag version of it. I actually thought there was some darkness on the brow there, but it was actually the shadow from the brush. I was like, how did brown get there? No, it was just shadow. Oh dear. So from about there, take that to there. Sisters not twins, but they're working. And now Hidden Cove, just to darken up the tip of the brow, which is like a darker sort of like bluey green colour. So just that part of it. One side versus the other. Me prefer this side, I think. She ain't 100% sure, but I think she prefers this side. So I just got a slightly cleaned brush just to kind of blend them in a little. Yes, I think that will work. If I try, one of the ideas that I had was to add Reef Dive to this, which is like a very sparkly, deep kind of blue. It's also got bits of silver flecks through it as well. And I thought that I was going to go over this with that colour, but I think that it'll probably just over empower it. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave that where it is. And then we'll actually get to the eyelid as well. Now, so I'm going to pop those away for the moment. We're going to keep the James Charles palette open, but then we're going to cut this part out with the crease. And then we're going to seal it with white, and then we're going to make it sparkly with silver for a little bit. Okay, so just off camera, I managed to cut out the crease again using a white concealer, which was the Morphe Full Coverage Concealer in white. Now we're going to add that bit of a sparkle to it. And I'm going to use again the same colour that we used for the brows, which was the Windsurf, because it's a white colour but also has a little bit of a sparkle to it. But before I actually go with the silver sparkly, I'm going to use Take It Back, which is white, but this also has a little bit of a sparkle too, just to cover over the concealer so it doesn't look as harsh. And then it also gives the silver a better base to stick to. See, that's softened up already. And it doesn't matter if we go over bits here, because this is going to be where we also put the liner as well. Now, if you notice in the picture, the liner, yes, although it's kind of black, it also has a bit of a bluey green kind of feel to it as well. So, to keep slightly in line with the theme, there's a colour in here that which is like a really deep dark green. It's called Secret Lagoon, and it does look really dark, but it is actually a green as well, so I think I end up using that one. But first we need to finish this off. So there's the white done. Pop that over there. Then I'm going to switch to a kind of a flat brush, almost a packing brush, M124. I'm going to use Windsurf. It's a sparkly silver. And give that all a bit of a brighter look than it had. Doesn't matter if it's a lot or a little, but it does sparkle it up a little bit. So I'm just going to pack that on everywhere. But the reason why I'm using this flat brush is one, because it puts more on, but two, when we get to the wing, it's got like a flat edge to it, so we can be careful and dainty in those bits, and in the corners here too. But for now we can just slap it on all over, because this part is big. Now I could have used my own eyes and not dragged this out, but I figured a drag look would be better because I'd have more space. Because once you put the liner on, it's going to take up a lot of that space, so I thought, give it as much as possible. Why not? So make it all shiny and sparkly. And someone's daughter is going to have to be shouted at. Booty boots. Because she likes to scratch, but the problem is once she starts scratching she doesn't stop. And then she inadvertently hurts herself, even though she doesn't mean to. Because she can be a bit silly. Although she's a lot more well behaved than she used to. She used to literally rip her neck completely open, but we stopped her from doing that. But every now and then she just gets a little bit carried away. Oops. Yes, I did go over that one in white. I was like, did I do white on this one? I did. For some reason, just then it felt like I didn't. Bag it on. I don't have to go all the way down to the lash line because that's going to be covered up with the Secret Lagoon, but it gives it yet another bed to sit on, so it's kind of good. So in there, in the corners, usually I would skip doing the other side and just cut straight to the next part, but this is going relatively quickly, so you can stay and watch this one. And she's out for biscuits. Hello, bubbuts. Lots and lots of sparkle, yay! See? It just emphasizes the white as well. So let's see. There we go, fabulous. Crunch, crunch, crunch. There, done. Just retouch up on this side, and there we go. That's the bases done. Now we've got to do the liner, which we're going to cheat with and use shadow, because why not? Quick drink. So not until I've had this. Awesome. So I'm going to go back in with the angled brush, the 158, and choose Secret Lagoon from the Sweet Oasis palette. That needs pinching. 1 second. There you go. And for some reason the brush decided to splay out. So, Secret Lagoon, here we go. Let's see if this works. Right from the inner corner. So we're starting there where the white is. And this is where I probably should have used a shadow shield, but I didn't. I'm going to draw this quite thick. But I'm starting with this last line first. And then we'll deepen it out in a little while. And we do have a lot of silvery sparkly fallout. Go away, silvery sparkly fallout. We don't want you. Although I will actually add to the face too. For a moment there I thought that the camera had gone out of focus, but it didn't. I might have to switch to black because I don't know if this is going to stand out enough. Take it all the way down to there first. There you go, and it's deepening up a lot better. Just have to be not as worried with the brush and just go for it. But the problem is with darker colours, once you screwed it up, you ain't coming back from there. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to take that in to there a little bit more. And then we'll start at the edge and come inwards. Because we don't want to make that too big. We do still want to leave some of that white there, so you can see it. So I'm going to leave that there and start bringing that in, I think. Yep, I think they'll work. Screw it a little bit more. Yay, that's what I wanted. Awesome. And if we want to deepen it up later, we can go in with more darker colours. And for some reason, that's not translating on camera as done, so even though it really is, we're going to add a lot more. Da, 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 da. Did you miss the sound effect? Awesome, fabulous. Now you can see it more. Starting to look like Endora from Bewitched, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. So we're going to do the other side and then we're going to bring it down and match underneath, so I shall see you in a moment. Okay, so whilst we were off, I actually did fill in the rest of it and bring it up a little bit underneath. I think it's done pretty well. Probably could have done with accentuating that a little bit more, but we got the basics of what we wanted. I think now I'm going to find, where did I put it? I know I had it somewhere, there it is. The contouring brush. Actually no, before I do the contouring brush, what I'm going to do is, I think, work on the lips first. I'm going to give them that pretty blue and shiny look. So we'll do that first. I'm going to use, should I use Infinity Pool or should I use the same colours we did before? Yeah, I'm going to use the same one before, so switch back to the Nikita palette to get the blue, which is the BB boy. It's like it's B-boy, no it's not, it's BB boy, as in bareback, as in, whoops, didn't say that. Okie dokie, so we're actually cheating using shadow, which we do a lot here. Because if you ain't got the colour you want, improvise, it's always in a palette somewhere. Although, now that I'm looking at it on camera, I think maybe I should have used a slightly deeper one. But it will all make sense when it's shiny as well, so we shall see. And if this isn't deep enough, then we will switch to the other one and give it an extra coat. Why not? Da-da-da! There, lovely blue. It is working. Fantabulous. Same on the bottom, lots and lots of blue. Yeah, I think that works. That is the blue that we wanted. Even though I thought it wasn't going to give a good payoff, it did. So I want to keep most of the same colours that we used on the eyes down here. And then we're going to switch palettes back to, I think, the Sweet Oasis. So we can then add that pretty silver to it. Yay! Which is of course Windsurf with a clean earth brush. That's why I've got a towel on my lap, by the way. Even though you can't see it, but just so you don't think I'm going like that all over pants, I'm not. Although sometimes I used to with my chair, but new gaming chair. Wrong side. New gaming chair. Expensive but worth it. To give the blue the sparkle. Than it has in the picture. Of course this will look a lot different with the hair and the lashes and the outfit as well. It's one of those moments where you think, is it complete or is it not? And then once the whole look comes together, it's like, oh right, yeah. I think I perhaps could have gotten this done a lot quicker had I used some of the Hello from the James Charles palette, because that is like a very sparkly light blue, but I like making things difficult for myself sometimes. It just means I have to really layer up on this, which is fine. And if we do need that extra pop, then we will switch to that one. But I don't think it's going to be needed, because it's already being quite sparkly now. As you can see, more of the bottom than the top. Because I don't like overdrawing lips. I think with me it looks a little bit too meh. Yes, that's looking a little bit better. Let's try Coastline Cruise, because that's like a sparkly blue as well, just to give it something extra. Yes. Almost taking it back to the original blue. But it has given it a cute extra base. Which is much better. Yay! Works better now. There we go. It has made it a lot brighter. So lips are done. So we can actually finally get rid of that palette, I do believe, because now we're going to work on the contouring areas and the highlight. Ooh, and all my hands are sparkly, look at that. So that is where makeup wipes come in. Just need to clean our hand. Literally sparkles everywhere. And of course, don't forget we haven't finished. She'll need to do lashes and stuff as well. Right, so we shall grab the Morphe E62, and I think the Nikita palette, which for some reason has a damp lid. Oh yeah, because damp towel, duh. And I'm going to start off with B-Boy. Sorry, BB-Boy. Why do I keep saying B-Boy? I have no idea. And I'm not going to touch the nose yet. We're going to do the contour. So yeah, from the corner all the way down to the smile line. Yes, you can definitely see that. Awesome. I always do it from the top of the ears and then bring it back down to where the inner lobe bit starts, because this one's quite a deep cut, well, at least on the picture anyway, but obviously I'm going to alter it to suit my own facial structure as well. So in with the lighter one first. I want the main colour up here and then fading to down here. Gorgeous. Same on the other side. Fabulous. And then in with a slightly darker one. I don't want to go too super dark with it, even though they are matching colours. It's like a blending blue, so I'm going to try Raisin Gan, which is like a deeper kind of greeny blue colour, just for that inner area there. Yep, you chose well. Just going to start that bit inside. Yay, got it. Just an inner bit there. There we go. Same on the other side. Just the inner bit there. There we go. This side's done. More or less. Last minute touch-ups. Why not? And then I'm going to use, I think, a fluffy. We shall see. Probably shouldn't use fluffy, but I'm going to. If it doesn't pay off with a fluffy, we shall just use it naked instead. Let's see what we get from the brush first though. Ooh, that is quite shiny. There is a lot of payoff on this one. This is going to go down here just above this. Oops, took the hair back. Hair's in the way. Of course the hair's in the way. Deeper, deeper, deeper. I do also have some silvery highlighters in another palette, but I want to use this first, and then we'll go over the powdery ones later. So down there. I think that works. This side's got more on, so we need to add a little bit more to this. There we go. I think with this I'm just going to go straight down the nose, but first we do need to add the blue to the nose too. So I'm going to use the BB Boy just to add a little bit of contour to the nose. there. And then more of this for the highlight in the middle. Tempted to use my finger for that actually, but I ain't gonna. Straight up there because that's fine. Yay! Did what I wanted it to. Right, so that's that and that's done. Next is lashes, but I am going to very quickly go over the top of that with the silvery highlighter that I mentioned, if I can remember where I put them. I did have them a moment ago. Found it. Now let's find the silverest one that we can. It's actually like a pinky silver, but we're going to use it. Now I know in the picture there's kind of like blue coming around here, but I'm not going to do those bits because of where the hair is going to be sat as well. So just brighten that up a little bit. Especially under the eyes as well. I actually cleaned this brush earlier, so now it's not picking up as much highlight as I'd want it to. So it's like, get covered! And then sweep this area as well. Oh, now it's working. Don't want to add too much to that area because we don't want to cover the brows. But we do want to add a bit of highlight to that area. Fabulous. That works. Yes, lots of sparkle. And also there, there, and just on top of the lip as well. Fabulous. That is what we want. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to coat my lashes with mascara, put on false lashes, and I will come and bring you the finished look. So stay tuned for that. So that was indeed how we created this look. If you want to watch more episodes of Tip to Toe, then keep your eyes peeled because there's a lot more coming this year. And thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, then the links of how to do so are in the description box below. And merchandise is coming very, very soon, not only for the channel in general, but for the up and coming Demon Warships Battle of the Bitches drag competition. Now, The deadline for that is the 31st of March, so you still have time to enter if you want to. The link will be in the description box for that as well, which will take you to our Discord room where you will find the application form and all the instructions of how to enter there. In the meantime, dismiss, that's the Starflight expression for I think we got it.